It's the Brandon Cruz Daily Fantasy Podcast, where I can look at loan plays and strategies specifically designed for GPPs. This is a show for people who are already informed on daily fantasy sports lines contest operate. If you got any questions related to NASCAR that isn't a dumb question or a stupid question, feel free to shoot them my way at BrandonCruzDFS on Twitter. Most importantly, take everything you hear with a grain of salt and use your best judgment when making entries. Additionally, if you have a gambling addiction, that is not my problem. Let's look at the Xfinity Series at Darlington Raceway. Now, before I get into this, you might be wondering, where am I getting all my data from? What am I looking at when I'm making these? Well, I'm looking at Race for the Prize, his sheet. Go to racefortheprize.com to get the fantasy NASCAR spreadsheet that I use and you need to be using as well. Has everything on it that you want to look at when creating lineups. Not only does it have past race data for this year, for previous years, it also comes with an optimizer. It comes with his own projections. That's Pierce's projections, for those of you that don't know who he is. This is his own personal sheet that he allows people to see. If you're buying diapers for his kid, and I highly advise that you do, it is the start of September, so you can get the whole September package if you go to racefortheprize.com. And let's get right into the Xfinity Series. Now, this is a throwback race, and I wouldn't look a whole lot into the paint schemes or into the sponsors this week, but normally, whenever they enter Darlington for the throwback week, a lot of effort goes into the throwback schemes, into the throwback sponsorships, or changing logos and everything. So I'm not saying that no team is going to start in park. I'm not saying that no team is safe from, running a chassis that doesn't have any sponsorship on the car. But you can usually see the people who are putting a lot of effort, the sponsors that have put in a lot of money. I'm talking more specifically for the guys who run 20th on back. Mike Harmon, for example, his cars, I expect them to run the full race and be pretty competitive, not only because they've shown improvement this year, but because they actually have a lot of sponsored money, or at least a lot of attention going to their social medias in terms of advertising the car, talking about the people they have on the car, things of that nature. So that's what you want to look at when you're viewing sponsorships, who's sponsored this week, who isn't sponsored this week, who's putting money into their throwback paint schemes and who's not. Like, I know, for example, one of the DGM Motorsports, I think it's not the 36, it's one of the Bassett fellers in this race. They don't have a sponsorship. They just threw a throwback paint scheme on their car and just put their race team logo into a different font. So just be aware of that. That's usually it's usually harder to see week in and week out, but on these weekends it's easier to tell who's going to start in park, who's not, who's sponsored, and everything like that. So if you want to do that on your own, go knock yourself out. As I said in the Truck Series podcast, these videos tend to be smaller now just because I don't have the whole hour worth of practice data to roll over. I do look at previous races this year, and specifically entering this week at Darlington, I'm going to be looking at races that took place at Atlanta, Homestead, or the two Homestead races, the two Kentucky races, the Texas race, and the Kansas race this year. Those would be the races I'm going to focus on, looking at how these drivers performed, how these teams performed. Like I said, you can get all that data at racefortheprize.com, so you don't have to search through hours and hours of tabs or going through Racing Reference for only half of the data that's there or that's useful to you fantasy-wise. So those are the tracks I'm going to look at entering this week. And I guess let's just focus on the elephant in the room, which is Denny Hamlin starting dead last at $16,000. Now, yet again, for those of you that are new or that don't know how I operate and stuff, I've been doing single entries or one lineups for each of these races for about the last month and a half, 2 months at this point. And I'll continue doing that throughout this year. And I'm playing Denny Hamlin. I'm going to play Denny Hamlin. I don't see a reason to get off of Denny Hamlin in this race. I just don't see it. Denny Hamlin should have the best car. They technically won they won last year. And then NASCAR's like, no, you're cheating. So they got cucumbered, that's what Bubba Wallace called it when he got when encumbered at Michigan, I believe. But they got cucumbered, and Denny Hamlin lost that win. It was taken away from him. They technically were DQ'd, but we don't care about that. In the fantasy world, we just focus on whoever has the fastest car, whether you're cheating or not, and that is Denny Hamlin this week, starting DFL. I mean, this is a perfect situation for these guys. The only way it doesn't work out is if he gets wrecked. he should win the race. He should be in the top 5 by halfway through the first stage. I don't see how it doesn't happen. So I'm going to talk in this podcast as if you're paying for Denny Hamlin, because that's just how it's going to end up being. I don't see a reason to skip on him. I don't see a reason to try and get cute and fade him. So everything from this point forward is assuming you're playing Denny Hamlin in your lineup, because I assume that you're just going to have to bite the bullet and eat that chalk, and I don't care what it is. And it should be around 80%. If it's not, I don't know what these people were doing. Don't understand it. But so breaking that down, let me just bring this up right fast. When you're building a lineup with Denny Hamlin, obviously you're going to have to look at value. Obviously you're going to have to look at punts. Obviously you're going to have to, you're building your lineup around fitting Denny Hamlin into it. And it's not that difficult. It's pretty easy to get done. So for example, when you put Denny Hamlin in your lineup, you have an average player, you have an average salary remaining for each player at $6,800, remaining salary of $34,000, and you can make that work. I don't really see a need to pay for anybody over $10,000 other than Denny Hamlin this weekend. So that means for me, no Chase Briscoe, no Austin Cindric, no Justin Allgaier. I don't see how that's going to work out. I want to focus primarily on people who are under 9,000 who can perform or do better than expected. Maybe 9,200, maybe 9,400 at max, but that would probably be where I would go. I don't see a way that you're going to be able to put two $9,000 guys in your lineup. But I haven't fully, dove down into this. In the line of construction and all that. I've kind of just dabbled in it. I'll like I said, I'm making this on a Thursday, so I got plenty of time to fix it. But going down the starting grid, because of that, I'm not interested in Justin Haley. Starting first, going to lose positions. Briscoe's too expensive. Burton's too expensive. Cindric's too expensive. Ross Chastain is around the price range that I want to work at, so he would be added to my player pool. I love Riley Herbst at $7,900. I think he does fine. I think, look, I'm just trying to get guys that finish top 10, okay? That's all I want to do. So Riley Herbst is fine with that. Michael Nett, I'm fine there. Brandon Jones, he's far too cheap. I like him. Josh Williams, just a little, probably not going to work. They're in the price range that I would love to see value, but they're 39th and 10. They're going to lose positions. They're going to not hit value. It's not worth that play there. Excuse me. Ryan Sieg, not going to be able to do it. He's going to lose a lot of positions as well. I don't like that play at all. Anthony Alfredo, I like. I'll see if I can fit him in there. Jeremy Clements, it depends on where I am in salary. I think he's going to be a bit too expensive. I don't see a way that I'm going to get to $7,500 on any of my plays. I'll either be at the $9,000, $8,000 plays or at $6,000 or below. So because of that, I don't think Clements is in play. I like Gregson at $8,800. He's underpriced. He's starting 14th. Should be a heavily owned guy. I imagine that Gregson and Hamlin are going to be a high-owned couple. And that's just the situation we're in. I like Denny. I like Daniel Hemrick. Allgaier's too expensive. Brandon Brown, I like him, $7,000 starting 17th. He should finish above that. He should easily hit value there. I don't mind him. Colby Howard, I don't hate him. If he can hold his position, that's all we're trying to get out of. Tommy Joe Martins, call me crazy, but Tommy Joe starting 19th at $4,900. Let's look at his finishing positions over the last, let's do 6 races. So that includes Daytona, that includes the second Dover race, the first Dover race, the Daytona Road Course, Road America, Kansas, Texas, Kentucky. So the last time he had a major issue was the second Kentucky race. He finished 26th. And I was saying earlier in the year, Tommy, you got to show me that you can finish races. You got to show me that your equipment is going to hold together. And that is what he is showing us right now. If you look at the races since Kentucky, starting with Texas, 16th, 18th, 18th, 13th at Road America, 21st at the first Dover race, 15th at Dover number 2, Daytona Road Course, he finished 14th. That's showing me that his equipment can stay together. That shows me that he is capable of actually running well. Wait a minute. Yeah, sorry, I clicked out of my thing right fast. That shows me it can work. I love Tommy John Martins this week. I assume he's going to be popular as well. I assume people are going to have the same idea there, but I don't know what this price is. I'm so confused. I like him. So, I mean, chop him down or write him down as someone I'm going to look at. Myatt Snyder, starting 20th, $8,400. Don't see it. That's no longer a top 10 car. That's a top 20 car. No go. Brett Moffitt, I like 8,700, starting 21st. Gives you a lot of place differential. Gives you a lot of safety. I like that. David Starr, $4,600. That's going to be between Tommy John Martins and David Starr, under 5,000 for me this week. I think you just need one of them. Unless you... I don't believe in Starr. I really don't. I honestly trust Tommy John Martins better. It seems that he has gotten his stuff squared away. It seems that he's running better. And David Starr, sure, it's a $300 discount, but I almost trust Tommy John Martins more in this situation. Chad Fitchum should be sponsored, should run the whole race. This is, for example, when I was talking about paint schemes and everything, MBM for Chad Fitchman specifically, they're using the crash claims or whatever it is called, but they're going full-blown on the throwback paint scheme. They're yapping about it a lot on their social media. I assume Chad Fitchman is going to run the full race. Alex LeBay, too expensive for me. I don't see that $7,800 working. Same argument that I made with Clements. I just don't see that I'm going to be there on salary. I don't mind Jeffrey Earnhardt. Austin Hill is an interesting play at $6,900. I believe he's in the Hattori car. Let me just make sure. We have not seen this car here in a while. Yeah, he's in the Hattori car. He should be priced up. $6,900 is far too cheap. I understand you're going to look at Charlotte, but listen, they had an issue at Charlotte. I believe they got wrecked. Finished 33rd. It's been almost 3 months since we've seen him run. Because last time they ran was back in June when we came back from COVID. So I like Austin Hill a lot. BJ Mcleod, I like him based on price. Joe Graff Jr., too expensive. Don't believe it. I'm not going to do it. Ryan Vargas, I don't know what the deal is with this guy. People like him. Like he has a following. I don't get it. Not interested. He's not useful DFS wise this weekend. Not a fan there. Bailey Curry, $6,100. Can't do it. Kyler Weatherman, like I said earlier, the Mike Harmon cars are serious about this weekend. They're going to be running well. Kyle Weatherman could be a play that you want to look at. I'm trying to... I imagine Kyle Weatherman's going to carry ownership. I don't know if it's because of the paint scheme that he's running. I don't know if it's because, the DFS community just seems to like Kyle Weatherman. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I think we're going to see a lot of ownership around Kyle Weatherman because of that. I'm hesitant to see where people... I'm hesitant to play him. I'm curious to see where people go with him in terms of ownership, in terms of how much they're talking him up. So we got to just check that out. Vinny Miller, not interested. Matt Mills, not interested. Cody Vanderwall, not interested. Dexter Bean, who is he in? Let me check right fast. Dexter Bean... Christine 16. Where is Dean at? Oh, not Dean. Bean. He's in a Mario Gosling car at $4,700. He's technically a safer play than Starr or Martins. I gotta see if he's sponsored because last time I checked DGM, they didn't have anything related to Dexter Bean in that. So I'll have to wait till at least Friday, Saturday morning to see how that goes. But he's certainly a lot safer than Tommy John Martins and David Starr if he's going to run the whole thing. Stephen Light, same thing there. I don't think they're going to run. Got to just check and see. Then we got Denny Hamlin start last. So those are the guys that I like. I'll say them again because you guys like to hear me say that. Chastain, Herbst, Annette, Jones, Anthony Alfredo, Gregson, Hemrick, Brandon Brown, Tommy John Martins, Brett Moffitt, David Starr, Chad Fitchum, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Austin Hill, BJ Mcleod, Kyle Weatherman, and then possibly Dexter Bean, Stephen Light, and Denny Hamlin. Those would be the guys I would focus on trying to fit in lineups or focusing on building lineups around. But we just got to see where ownership lies. I don't think this is a... I'll probably have to punt one guy. But I imagine most of my lineup is going to be pretty balanced because, like I said, I don't really see the reason to pay above 10 grand for anybody but Hamlin. I got enough value to make that easily work. I'll probably have a lot of drivers in the 8K, 7K 6K, or maybe not 7K. It'll be 8K and then probably 6K, 5K guys building these lineups. That's the way that I think it's gonna go. That's the way I think you should make lineups. But that's just me. I mean, if you think it's another way, if you think you need to hammer in Briscoe and Hamlin, go for it. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Not too sure. Because I don't want to double punt. That's the main thing. I don't think you want to double punt in this race. That's what I'm really trying to avoid when creating my lineups here. And that's about it. I think that is about it. A couple things to note. I said this in the last video, but I'm going to say it again here. I'm kind of close. I mean, I'm like 200 subscribers away, but I am 200 subscribers away, or almost 300 at this point. But I need to get to 1,000 subscribers to get any type of ad revenue off my YouTube channel. That isn't a goal. I'm not being like, oh, give me to 1,000, but I haven't mentioned it in almost like 2 months. So that is something I'd like to see within the next 4 years. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers by 2023, I think that'd be pretty good. I'd like doing it in about 3 years. So hopefully we'll get there. I got my Discord. Not my Discord. I got my Patreon in the description, so if you think I ever helped you out or anything, feel free to send a donation through that. That sends you to a Discord where you can just ask me questions or just support me. I mean, the Patreon's more for like a donation thing anyway. I don't really offer anything there other than a Discord, but I don't make anything special for that. It's more of just a thank you for supporting me there. My Twitter, BrandonCruzDFS. You can tweet at me there. You can find my stuff at DFS Tavern. And I always get one downvote on all my videos right off the bat, because my videos like 12 minutes long. As soon as I always upload, and about 2 minutes later I get one downvote on every video. That doesn't bother me, but I'd much rather just come at me, bro. I don't even know who you are. I assume that I've said something controversial that you don't like, and I understand. Listen, I say a lot of things controversial. I make fun of dead drivers a whole lot, but at least watch the video. Give me the minutes watched. But guys, good luck this week for the Xfinity series, for the truck series. I'm looking forward to this week at Darlington. It's one of my favorite tracks to watch. I know people find it boring, but I really love Darlington. It's got a lot of characteristics. It's one of the original tracks, or at least from the 50s, So I just love older tracks. So Darlington's always a fan favorite of mine. And best of luck, and hopefully this helps you out. I try and make these for people who want an idea on how to approach this stuff. And I started making this so I could look back on how I'm approaching stuff. And I made it because I didn't really find any videos or podcasts that shared the way that I thought or shared the way that I go about this stuff. So that's why I started making this, to fill a void that just wasn't there. So hopefully you guys like it, and we'll chat later, alligators, and good luck. Yeah, good luck.